Assalamu alaikum and very good day to all of you. I am from the, when I sit here in higher education, I will say I am from the lower education because we are people who do things. We are not very highly educated people, but we are the people who are in industry. And so, we look at things from the other side of the table, let me say. So, when we are talking about economic growth and industrial growth, we are talking about items like innovation, invention, design, skills, entrepreneurship, manufacturing, marketing, finance and investment, urban behavior, urban development, and a lot of other things which go to make a successful manufacturing industry. And if you have clusters of these industries and the whole nation is industrialized, then you have some real economic growth. And this is what we, people in the industry, we are up against. And so as customers of the education system, these are the things that we have to contend with, and we have to fight the gaps which we have when we have people working with us. So just on a different note, you see, when we have to learn or teach in our industries, we do go to the World Wide Web and we find out, and I think also for the teaching profession, the web has changed the paradigm. So we need to see the audio visual is already there, and most of the things which are better than what a usual teacher in Pakistan can teach. So we must redefine the role of the teacher, because the teacher, giving a lecture in the class is no longer required, because the lecture is already available and in maybe much better condition than what the average teacher can deliver. The other thing is learning, and the learning starts at home. We are talking here most of the time about learning in school, but there is a lot of preschool learning which children can go through, and by giving them the right toys or not giving them the toys and giving them something else, like what I have shown here, like this magnet here. If you just these young children with 2 magnets, they will learn more about ferromagnetism than what a graduate class can teach them. So I think on a national level, we need to sensitize ourselves on what kind of toys and what kind of learning behavior a preschool child should have. Then moving from preschool to the normal schools, students are still learning arithmetic tables by rote. Their Montessori system is mostly absent from, inquiry-based system is mostly absent from our schools. The other thing which is very alarming to me is that the school labs, these have been mentioned here, but I find that in most of the elite schools which are offering O-levels, we have now these poultry farms which are putting out O-level and A-level students with 35 A's and maybe a few hundred A's, and they have never seen a lab. And it's very interesting that even the UK education system has given an exemption to lab work. So a simple beaker can teach ion exchange, which a teacher cannot teach on the board what is an abstract subject like ion exchange. And there's so many other things. And these labs have gone missing. The first thing which we must attend to in schools is the labs. Even an elementary lab would do certain things which, and we have graduate students coming to our industries, and their concepts about most of the science, elementary science, high school science are missing. And we always wonder how did they go through graduate class with this. So we have this morning also, I heard and I felt encouraged that we were also thinking in the same way. This out of school learning is needed in every town. And just as an example, I was, for business takes me to Coventry many times, and I was at the Coventry Transport Museum, and this is what I saw, how they were marketing their museum to schools. I mean, they put it very nicely, you know, students should come, and, you know, they were marketing it. So, and all the schools are bringing their young children to this museum. Here you can see, you know, Coventry was first a watchmaking town, and then a bicycle making town, then a motorbike making town, became a car making town. So the students come here, and their teachers, they prepare them to come to this museum, and they have to study and answer some questions about the mechanism which they are seeing in this school, and then they have a dialogue with the teacher, and they go back after gaining certain knowledge from this museum. So this is how you know, we are expecting that this will be done. And it's very encouraging to see how different countries are doing this. And in Pakistan, we are missing this. From our perspective, science, when it is applied, it brings out products. Manufacturing is equal to applied science. And we don't show our students how things are made. Once we teach them how things are made, then you see they become inquisitive, they'll go behind it. But this is very sadly missing. And I have come across universities and faculties where no member of the faculty has ever visited a manufacturing plant or seen its process even in elementary detail. So we are very, very far away from manufacturing floors as far as our education system is concerned. And you know, this is quite a subject. Even preparing students to visit an industry, it needs certain amount of preparation by the teacher himself or herself. And that preparation is missing, and just the attitude of visiting an industry and connecting it to the syllabus, that is totally missing from our landscape. Then the other very important thing missing from our landscape is hobbies. You know, if a student starts to take interest in a certain type of hobby, that hobby leads the student to learning so many things, so many scientific facts, that these are things which are missing. Just even if it's clay or small boats or a model aircraft, a simple model aircraft is going to teach him about aerodynamics, about mechanics, about an IC engine, about an electric motor, about control systems. It is an endless thing what a student does by if he is interested just in model aircraft. So these are things which are missing from the schools. There are no hobby competitions, or if there are any, they are probably not at the school level. Then another thing is, generally it's a commentary, you know. We are preparing our children to do an FSC, because then they have to do a BSc. And in the BSc, they have to get a good GPA. And if they do a good GPA, then we'll go on to do his master's. And if he doesn't get a job after master's, he'll go to do a PhD and end up being a professor. You see. So in the whole process, he never played a game. He never went to get his bicycle repaired. His dad did it for him. And then the funny thing about us is that the more elite a school is, the more tuitions he has to go to. It's in our case, you know, when if we had to go to a tuition, we were called duffers. You know. Now, if a student does not go to a tuition, probably he is a duffer. You know, it's a very strange way. I mean, why do we pay the schools if every student has to go to a tuition? But all this is leading to some kind of a poultry farm where we are bringing out people with a lot of A's and with no real knowledge. You know. So, but the saving grace is that Pakistanis have a very high IQ level, and the IQ level ends up compensating them for whatever they missed out in school and learning. but the achievements are questionable. Whatever we produce as a country are reverse engineering. These are copies of imported research. There are no innovations, no inventions, and no solid patents. From a population this big and from a higher education group so big, we don't have any solid patents coming out. So there is something very, very wrong right in our foundations. So this is where we need to address ourselves. So ladies and gentlemen, to sum up, we need to define the new role of the science teacher. We must have labs which would form the solid part of scientific inquiry in every school, including the elite schools. Establish science museums in all main towns across the country. Connect school-level science to manufacturing and reward young innovative teams through competitions. So, in the last Davos here a few months ago, this is what Jack Ma said, that if we do not change the way we teach, 30 years from now we will be in trouble. Thank you very much.